What's up, people? I am back for another video. I am reviewing a movie that my friend Steve recommended me. This is a movie also I have actually heard about a couple years ago, but I just never watched it. But he recommended it to me, and to be honest with you, it feels like very much almost like it has like a invasion of body snatchers kind of feel. It's weird because it's about Satan, and these group of scientists are helping a priest played by Donald Pleasance, who he's really good in this movie. I really love him in this movie. Like, probably one of my favorite Donald Pleasance roles that's not, Dr. Loomis. And because they find this liquid embodiment that basically possesses you essentially and causes you. It's almost like it's that's why I said invasion of the body snatchers feel to it, because possesses you and you try to have to take over. And there's a lot of good body horror in this movie. Like, there's just some scenes where you just get like just liquid shooting out of people's mouths, some freaky just body like there's a scene where this girl's just all covered in like fucking she looks like think about like someone skinned alive. That's what it looked like. So I think that's the aspect I love about this movie. Very much like a body horror. And I love movies like that, and I think that's what this continues. I think Donald Pleasance was great. Pretty overall, I don't know a lot of the cast. Victor Wong, I don't really know. Like, it's not like Alice Cooper has a small cameo. You see him for like a second, but yeah, like it's not like a famous cast. But the cast that was in the movie is really good. I think the score is great. Because it's John Carpenter, so it's gonna always have a great score to it, especially because he scores his own movies. So it's just the fact that he continues that in this, and it's great, and great atmosphere. I actually think this movie has an awesome atmosphere. Kind of contained horror too, because it's these characters. It's not a lot of characters. So, but there is a body count, but because there's only like so many characters, and that's the students, there isn't and it's a lot of it's in one setting. It's in this one building, so it is kind of like a little bit of like, I'm not gonna say isolated, but like kind of contained horror, which I like. I love contained horror where it's in like one setting and not like a million set pieces and all that. So great atmosphere, all of that. One of Carpenter's best that I think Carpenter delivers again, and that's what I'm gonna title this video. I think he really does deliver again. He just knows how to do horror. Like, it doesn't matter if like the type. He can do slasher, possession, he knows how to just do like the variety. And and yeah, there's a little bit of like, a little bit like, because they explain that Jesus was terrestrial, like things like that don't look too into, obviously. But yeah, because there you get exposed to the liquid, it possesses you. So it has a little bit of like that thing aspect. If you're exposed to the thing, even though the thing replicates you, but it's kind of similar in that sense. You become possessed, and then it tries to possess people all around, because it possessed a bunch of homeless people, and then eventually starts possessing the students. And obviously, I love the ending. So, where it turns out that like, pretty much everyone gets possessed. Though it tries to make it seem like it's just a dream at first. But yeah, it's a very well-made movie. So I actually really love this movie. Some great body. Like, there's a scene where like a guy's body just like destroys them and just turns into like a bunch of bugs. That was pretty creepy. Like, so great body horror, and I kind of wish I watched this film a bit sooner, to be honest, because this is a good one. So anyway, tomorrow I will be reviewing The Late Night with the Devil. Finally, I have been wanting to watch that movie, but just everything just has got in the way. So I will be doing that tomorrow. yeah, so I'll be doing that tomorrow. So I hope it's good because I've heard good things about it mostly. So I want to finally check it. And y'all know I love horror, so especially if it's some the new one. Like I always want to check out new horror. So, but anyways, let's get started on Prince of Darkness. So Catholic invites Howard Barack and his students basically as they end up finding this cylinder that has all this green looking has this green liquid, and they're trying to figure out what it is, which I like. So we got Walter, Susan. Like, there's 13 students, but really, like, there's like main ones you're focused on. So they find ancient text. Eventually, so the first to get possessed is the homeless people, and obviously they start kind of killing more and more. A couple of the students. So basically, Susan becomes infected, and basically, it kind of is like, that's why I was saying Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Obviously, it's not literally Body Snatchers, but it has that feel to it. I was even thinking a little bit of Twilight Zone too. Like it feels like a Twilight Zone episode. Um, it's weird because it's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but horror. Because Invasion of the Body Snatchers is more science fiction, but it has that feel. But obviously, it's tied to Satan and all that. The priest is a great character. Victor Wong is one of the scientists. He's a pretty good character who you kind of. This one it's weird because Carpenter is known for doing more character kind of movies sometimes, but I do think in this one it's more about like the body horror. The characters are kind of just there. So becomes killed. Edgerton is killed, so another one of the students is killed, becomes possessed. So they find out that Satan. Obviously, this is their version of Satan, so that's how I look at it. I get it. I can see if someone's religious and you see like what they say about Jesus. I mean, there's a scene where they mention that Jesus was an extraterrestrial, and I know some people may not like that, but you got to remember, if you just look at it, it's a blah. Is it as its own story? I think it's fine. You know, I don't. So they mention and say, blah. Satan is the offspring of the anti-god and lives in the realm, is bound to the realm of antimatter. So I actually like the little storytelling they're telling. Walter, oh, this is where we get the vessel. That's what happens to her body. Her body gets fucked up because she becomes Satan's vessel. And yeah, man, like I said, this movie is very body horror. Not as much as The Thing, but there is a lot of it in some scenes. Kelly tries to summon. So it's weird because this movie it has science fiction elements, but it's definitely straight up horror and like religious elements too. They start going through the walls. The rest of the team starts fighting the possessed. Kelly gets tackled through the portal, and close the portal, and the rest of the team are rescued, and the rest of the possessed kind of die. Then Brian has the dream, and we find that Catherine is possessed. So basically, in a way, the bad guys win because the film ends, the mirror is destroyed, you know. So basically, it's shown as a dream, but they basically imply that Brian is also possessed too. But pretty good film. I'm happy I watched this. To be honest, I actually really enjoyed this movie. I thought the body horror was great. The atmosphere building was great. Good characters. Donald Pleasance as the priest was great. He doesn't have a name. They don't really call him. They don't give him a name. They just call him priest. But I thought he was a good character. Victor Wong as the professor was good. Brian was a good lead. Like, Brian throughout the film has a thing for Catherine. Like throughout the film, that was the setup they were doing. I didn't really talk about it, but yeah. Overall, like good atmosphere. Like that's the thing that you're gonna see me say a lot in John Carpenter movies is the atmosphere. He knows how to really set the ambiance. The score too. I mean, John Carpenter scores his own movies, so it makes sense. Like I love like the invasion of the body snatchers feel of it, and I love that just it was John Carpenter's own little story. Like that's what makes it great. Nice blend of horror and sci-fi. I would say it's definitely more horror because Satan and God. It does deal with those elements and all that, and there is a body count, but I don't. I can't see it as sci-fi because I do think that obviously there's an invasion of body snatchers inspiration there, and obviously extraterrestrials are mentioned and stuff like that. But I actually really dug it, man. I'm gonna thank Steve for recommending me this one. This is one I definitely should have watched a long time ago. I thought the story was pretty good, interesting story. Mentioned about anti-gods and the little lore it has within itself. And it's crazy, it's just one movie. One movie, but it has all this lore. That's what I love. That's like how good John Carpenter is. He knows how to make a world feel lived in, So, happy to finally have watched this movie. Tomorrow, like I said, Late Night with the Devil review. Wednesday, for Bad Movie Wednesdays, we're gonna be, or Wednesday, Bad Movie Wednesday, we're going to be doing the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes movie. That movie is not good. Like, the only positive I really have for the movie... Okay, I have two. Tim Roth was a good bad guy, and I dug the, animatronics and the costuming for the apes, but other than that, the movie was shit. The weird bestiality subplot, because there's, Helen Mirren as an ape has a thing for Mark Wahlberg, but then there's also the human girl he has a thing for. It's so bad. The love triangle, the dialogue in general just isn't good. That fucking retarded ending, and I'm gonna talk more about that when we get to the review. That ending is retarded. That I don't know what the fuck they were going for with that movie. It just was not good all around. It sucks. They try to get old Charlton Heston in there just to get him say something. So he said the thing. It's just, yeah, it was not a good movie. So I'll be talking about that Wednesday. So, anyways, tomorrow, Late Night with the Devil. Yeah. But Prince of Darkness, I would give a 9 out of 10. But next week, I'm going to do another Carpenter film. Next few weeks, I'm actually going to do a Carpenter film. Maybe next few weeks or 2 Carpenter week films next week. We'll to debate which one. Because next week, I'm going to do Starman. I want to check that out again. Because when I think of Prince of Darkness, I also do think of Starman. Because That one I actually have seen. That was an interesting movie. It was a little bit out there, but it was a pretty good movie. I'm also thinking about, since this is part of a trilogy called the Apocalypse trilogy. The Thing kicks it off, and there's this movie. Then there's In the Mouth of Darkness, which is actually another one that's really out there but really good. Led by Sam Neill. Um, so I'll be doing that one. Maybe I'll do that one next week too, since it's part of the trilogy. So, and I've done the Thing obviously long fucking time ago. So maybe one day I'll do like not a review, but like just why the Thing is so iconic or something like that. Because I do want to talk about that film again. But anyways, um, other than that, nothing. Talk to y'all later. Take one more hit. Peace out. All right, y'all. Talk to y'all tomorrow.